Thank you, Shauna. The next speaker is from Slovenia, and it is Slovenia Barnahus, head of Slovenia Barnahus. And this is a special event because in one place to meet three heads of Barnahus from various countries, because we also have Norway Barnahus head, who is going to speak later too. I wanted to say just two. For all of you, I encourage you to use the opportunity to address these people, to ask questions. But now, Simona. Simona and Simona's presentation.
I didn't understand the word, Ilse. But thank you. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you, Shauna, for your words. It's also always very inspiring for us who just started the with Barnahus model. In Slovenia, we are not so far from you. We started last year. It was in January 2023 when we conducted our first forensic interview. So we are still struggling, and it is a great honor for me to learn from everybody who have a lot more years of experience, and also learning from you, because we are at the same stage, we have the same experiences. In my presentation today, I would like to show you how the implementation, the Barnahus model in Slovenia went. It was quite a long journey, and also how are we working today. There are some differences between our countries, but the goal is always the same. We all work for the best of our children. Okay, I will just, is it okay? In Slovenia, it's generally a very child-friendly country. We have a well-developed system of child protection, which is harmonized with every international standards and ensures a high level of safeguarding of the rights and well-being of all children. International comparisons in this area give Slovenia a high ranking, especially in the social field, education and healthcare. But in the justice system, in the field of justice, it was less satisfying. If we go, I don't know, about 8 years ago, there are a lot of calls for improving the position of victims of sexual abuse in our society, especially when we come to court procedures. As you know, probably it's the same in many countries. The victims point out that it was extremely painful for them to repeatedly testify, and they felt used and cheated by those who run the proceedings. They didn't receive the adequate professional help, and it was a lot of talking about ignoring the child's right to the necessary help and support. And especially NGO pointed out many times that there were in our society a lot of obstacles on the way protecting the child, like taboos, stereotypes, and culture of silence. So it was the right time that we established the Barnahus, but there were no, 8 years ago, there were no initiative for establishing the Barnahus from existing organization. So we were just in the middle how to establish the Barnahus. But it was an initiative. We have to find our way, and our way was to build Barnahus from the top, like top-down, through top-down approach. Just some numbers. We are the same, a little bit. We have a little less than 2 million inhabitants, so we are quite the same country. I would like to present you the numbers of crimes in which children and minors were the victims, and in where the criminal charges were filed. The source is joint report of the state prosecutor's work, more likely in other countries and society. We can, there are more increased level of sensitivity you can see, but the numbers are also increasing. The reasons are probably depends about this sensitivity. So, Children's House in Slovenia, that's our Barnahus, Hiša za otroke in Slovenian language. The establishment started in 2016 when the idea, some people in Ministry of Justice, we have to establish, implemented this model in Slovenia since. Established in Slovenia system, and since then we can follow the activities of many governmental and also non-governmental services. It was very great engagement and very good operation, which led us to the fact that the Barnahus Slovenia is functioning today. And the most important achievements of this implementation period are that we designed and established a completely new public institution based on the Barnahus model. So we are not part of any system in Slovenia. The project holder is Ministry of Justice, and we have our steering committee with the members of all other ministries, but we are completely independent institution. All service necessary for the investigation of a crime will be combined or are combined in one place. We have a very important international help. First, I would like to address the Council of Europe and European Union. They helped us in our first stages of establishing our first Barnahus, and then in involvement in the project of Norwegian financial mechanism enabled us to renovate the premises and start the Children's House as part of the pilot operation. The project ends this April, same as your project, but after that will be part of the state budget funding, also the same as you. That's very safe right now. So, as I said, we have a very important steering committee where are the members from all important ministries, Ministry of Family, Labor, Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, and then Supreme State Prosecutor's Office, Supreme Court, Human Rights Ombudsman, and some other very important organizations from Slovenia. And I would like to address that through this implementation phase, Slovenia implemented the Barnahus model and Barnahus standards in one comprehensive legal act. So we have a special law. I think we were one of the first countries that have just separate law about Barnahus. It is called Child Protection in Criminal Proceeding and Comprehensive Treatment of Children in the Children's House Act. So it's very important law which were adopted in our parliament 2021 and represent the framework of our work. The law was drafted and peer-reviewed with the Council of Europe experts' help. We had a very long and open public debate. It was Corona time, so we can afford that. And we also, I think that's very, very important, and if anybody wants to know something more about that, we have consultations with children during preparation of this document. So also the child participation is included in this document. So as I said, involvement in international project was extremely important for us during this implementation phase. I already mentioned the help of Council of Europe and European Union, and then involvement in Norway Grants project, which enabled us to start operating through the pilot operation, and also in terms of training, involvement in the Promise 3 projects, especially within the framework of which the trainings took place, is also very, very important. What we did, what we trained, what's the knowledge we have today, we didn't have a couple of years ago. In 2020, within the framework of Promise 3, 10 Slovenian police officers which have experience to work in investigation of child abuse were trained to conduct the forensic interview with the child, and they help us with this in these first years of working. And in 2022, with the help of these police officers and all other national experts, the NICHD protocol was translated and adopted into Slovenian language and legislation as well. In terms of content and structure, there were no difference, but we adopted the protocol to our legislative culture and practical nature of our system. And then in 2020, we trained 10 psychologists from Slovenia within the Association for Behavior and Cognitive Therapy. They were trained in BaseScan, TF-CBT, CPC, CBT. They are from different regions of Slovenia. That's important because our Barnahus is located in our main town, Ljubljana, so we have some support, some therapists educated in, especially in trauma focus therapy from other parts of Slovenia, because it's quite hard for children to go to Ljubljana every week. It's about also for 2 hours drive from northeast part or southwest part of Slovenia. So in 2022 and 2023, we trained 19 more psychologists in CPC, CBT, that's combined parents-child therapy. And also when we established our first team in this Promise Tree and Norway Grants project, we did some trainings, very, very important training into conducting the forensic interview and crisis support, psychosocial support. We have some study visits, job shadowing, and also some external and also national experts who help us to build our assignments. So how are we working today? As I say, our assignment is comprehensive treatment of children in children's house. The treatment of minor victim or witnesses takes place based on a court order. That's the difference from other Barnahuses around Europe. So it is the court or the judge who decides whether it is in the best interests of the child to ensure that he or she is treated in the children's house. Based on this court order, every child gets his own specialist profession who will conduct the forensic interview, and they don't meet each other before the hearing. And every child gets a counselor, a special counselor, who provides crisis support and psychosocial assistance. Also in this court order, it's already written the date of preparatory meeting and the date of the hearing. And these roles of specialist and counselor cannot be mixed. The preparatory meetings, I have some slides about that. The meaning of this preparatory meeting is to exchange the information on the facts and circumstances that are important for conducting the interview, the questions that should be asked to the child, and also on the method and structure of conducting the hearing. There are a lot of participants in this preparatory meeting. They are written in my slide. The judge is who is leading this preparatory meeting, but there are also experts from our institution. There are prosecutors, also police officer can be there. Also a suspect or defendant or a defense attorney and a child representative and child advisor and child protection service. It's also there. We found in this 1 year of working that this preparatory meeting is a very good institute that helps us to make the hearing more successful, since all the questions are predetermined, and we can find out that there are relatively little interventions during the hearing by the prosecutors or by the defense attorney. So, it is also having like educational moment, because we educate judges how to work the children, how to conduct the interview, why is the structure of forensic interview so important. And then forensic interview, I think you know a lot about that. This is our room of hearing. You can see the picture. We also have especially trained experts, and we are doing the protocol. We are using this NISHD protocol. The hearing takes place in a separate room, and through audio-visual connection, it is monitoring from the judge and all other members. Testimonies are recorded and can be used in criminal procedures afterwards. And then crisis support. That's also quite a new institute, quite a new assignment. In our law, it's written that crisis support is psychological support for the child during questioning. In practice, that means that our counselor prepare the child, give the child all the information which needed, deliver the invitation. We have like personal delivering. We invite the child to the hearing. And the most important is the support, also relaxation before, during, and after the hearing. We also find this crisis support in 1 year of working like very, very good practice. Because children, if this crisis support is adapted to concrete child, means that the child will speak more easily during the interview. And after the hearing, we have psychosocial. We say psychosocial support. I know somebody used this therapeutic support that comes after the hearing, and it is more formal and permanent form of support provided to children after interview. Also the child's family members who are not suspected of committing a crime can be part of this psychosocial support, and we offer this support as a public service, a part of our comprehensive treatment. What support is available at that moment in our Barnahus? We are supporting children through different therapy approaches. We have a colleague which is educated in cognitive behavior therapy and specialized in TF-CBT and CPC-CBT. We have a colleague with Gestalt experimental psychotherapy combined with Gestalt play therapy, and we have one systemic family therapist. So at the end, where all our journeys meet on our paths, I think it's very important that the essential difference is the child's experience. So we have to be aware of that, and is the child who is in the center of the whole process. We have different ways to gather these goals in our Barnahus, is through crisis support, through invitation and counselor and and some things are the same, but we have to be aware that this is the difference that we make in yours systems. So thank you.
Paldies, Simonai.
Thank you, Simona. And she will not have headset, but she maybe will not hear this now, but the Slovenian path was not easy. They needed maybe 4 projects. And she said to me that what was the number of state secretaries and ministers she had experienced. Simona, I don't want to lie, meaning we're mistaken, but how many state secretaries or ministers there were until you got to the Barnahus model in Slovenia?
Four ministries of justice. We have a new one for
and even
1
more.
month. So she will come to visit us on Friday. There was a very turbulent political journey, but we did it so far.
Paldies. Tiešām liels prieks arī, kad
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to hear. And good to have you here, because Latvia and Slovenia are the EU member states which are in the most similar situation, and now we can share our experience. Thank you very much once again.